right, hello everyone. It says we're live, so I'm gonna assume we are. And yeah, hello, hello. For those who are new, my name is Skye. I'm a fantasy author who typically writes paranormal romance under the name St. Hegyes, and we're gonna be doing some. Hello, can I help you, sir? You're just gonna shove your head underneath my arm. All right. Ogre says hi. Um, we're gonna be doing some productivity sprints. Do I not give you enough love and affection all day long? Okay. Anyways, um, you made me lose my train of thought. You have one brain cell, and it is gone. Um, so yeah, we're gonna do some productivity sprints. We're gonna do 30-minute sprints with some chit chat in between. The timer is actually set for 5 minutes. It depends on how much chat there is going on, whether or not we'll stick with that 5 minutes or if I'll have to pause the timer and because I like to read through all the comments before we move on to the next sprint. Yeah, I think that's it. Let's go ahead and say hi to everyone in the comments. Can I have my hand back now? Can I have my hand back? Boop, 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 boop. Smooth brain. Someone has a smooth brain. Let's see. You're gross. Do. Ooh, I think it's not going to be in order, but I think Restream might show me all the comments today. We're going to try it. We're going to see what it shows me versus what normally happens. So it's not showing me anything before I actually went live. I know there were some comments there. So let me go to YouTube real quick. Let's see. JC said, I call first. I'm here to be seated in the front row to wait for my friend. She got a chair. Hi, JC. Laura's also here. And then according to Restream, Rachel was actually the first one here because it's not showing me anything before I actually went live. Eva is also here and giving us a wave. Beth is here. Hello, hello. It'll switch. There it goes. It's just a little slow. Eva saying hi to everyone. I'll be late, but back shortly. Bunny things. If you know, you know. I know. Rich says hi to everyone too. And JC says I am live. And Rach said I sound and look good. Thank you. Okay, let's see how much. So that's all that's showing on Restream right now. And of course, Restream is not showing me all the messages because there's actually more showing on YouTube as there is on Restream. But that's okay. That's okay. I wanted to test it out and see how it works because every once in a while, Restream will let me use the comments just fine, and sometimes it won't. And now I remember why. One of the many reasons why I like looking at the YouTube comments because it stays on track faster. Beth said that, oh, such a sweet boy. He is. He is adorable. Thank you, JC. Alrighty. I think I'm just looking back over the comments on YouTube to make sure I didn't miss any others. And it looks like I didn't, so we're good. All right. So what has everyone been up to today? I know that it was Double Down Day for Heart Breathings, and I have been in almost every single stream, or at least had it running on the computer, because I had all the tabs open at various points today. And even if I didn't take part in the chat, I was like, I had them running in the background kind of thing. I don't think I participated in the last two streams at all because I was doing dinner stuff and hanging out with family. But I have been at this desk pretty much all day, which is probably not a good thing. Yay. Have I been productive during that time? Yes and no. There's been lots of journaling had today of various kinds. I've been journaling in here, catching up for the past couple of days. I was doing some brainstorming journaling earlier. Was I doing any of the kind of journaling I should have been doing, is like catching up reading and writing logs? No, I was not. Do I feel guilty about it? No, not a bit. So, yeah, that is what I've been up to. What about everyone else? How has everyone else been doing today. And did you participate in Double Down Day? And if so, what was your goal? And did you meet it or not? So I'm curious. Uh, EL Summers is here. Hello, hello. Welcome, welcome. All right. What is everyone going to be working on tonight? I am going to be editing again. I'm going to be returning to editing. The other day when I was live streaming with Laura for an 8-hour stream, I think I jumped in at the 2-hour mark, so I only streamed for 6. She streamed for 8. But when she was streaming, I worked on Sultry Solstice's book 2. I was working on editing / rewriting, depending on your viewpoint. And I got to 5,254 words total from 0. The goal is between 12 and 13,000 words. And I have not touched it since. Because yesterday I did stuff yesterday. I swear I did stuff yesterday. It just wasn't related to writing. My writing. It was related to other people's writing. Yeah. Because I got all of my YouTube streams scheduled for April. I got letters written. I got some infographics made, and I finished formatting some stuff. And then I hung out with my husband because it was his second day off. So his weekends are Thursday and Friday now. So I've really got to take a look at my schedule again and probably change it up, because on Thursdays and Fridays I'm probably going to be spending time with him, as long as he is not gaming on Fridays. Fridays we have alternate weeks. This Friday was actually supposed to be a D&D session for us. We're both in the same online gaming session with some of our friends from North Carolina and Canada and Minnesota. I don't remember which of the M states she was in. But there was illnesses being passed around by children, so we had to skip last night's D&D session. So and then every other Friday he's got gaming sessions with where he plays Destiny, or lately they've been playing Borderlands 4 because they just released a new DLC. And then I get to do my own thing while he's doing that. So that's what we've been doing. And last night, because I was spending time hanging out with him, doing various things after D&D was canceled, I did not get any writing done. So that is how my weekend has gone. Going back to the comments, Beth said, I had a rough mental health day today, so spent most of it zoning out, doing scrolling on TikTok and watching YouTube. I feel that. I did a lot of that last weekend, before Thursday. Wednesday night, Laura sent out the message about doing an 8-hour stream on Thursday. I was like, that's exactly what I need to get back on track with what I'm supposed to be doing on a daily basis. And it was a good thing, because I had spent the past 3 days doing exactly what you're talking about, Beth. I'm so sorry. It sucks. Been there, done that. Though, truth be told, I watched a lot of YouTube today. I'm still behind on my watch later list. It's sitting at 137 from 200 3 days ago. So, got it down a lot, I guess. Hopefully you get to feeling better, though. Hopefully you're going to, during the sprints, I'll probably be doing some reading. Okay, here. Sounds like a plan. Let's see. Yeah, YouTube, not YouTube. Restream has decided not to show me any more comments. Gotta love it. Rachel says, I will be moving through shifting what I've already got on Word to my Google Docs, where I am used to revising and editing. That's step 1. It's my fantasy for RDC, Rough Draft Challenge. That took me way longer than I should have to realize. JC says, yes, children are great for passing germs. Yes, they are. You're loving my board? It's now kind of up to date. This is all Sultry Solstices, and this is my Werewolf Smut story. These 4 stacks of tabs are the Werewolf Smut in between all the Sultry Solstices. This is the nonfiction book, and then this is random, digitizing documents that are, handwritten still. This is all client work and Patreon stuff. This is all YouTube. This is all journaling related and, letters and stuff like that. And then this is, decluttering and organizing stuff. Welcome to Q2. The goal is to have all of these gone and in my jar of regrets. I don't know why I called it that. My jar of accomplishments by the end of the quarter. We'll see how full I can fill this before it's like, I can't take anymore. E.L. Summers is going to be reading during the sprints. What name would you prefer I call you, E.L. Summers? Because I am drawing a blank. It's late at night. It's been a long day. I've been sitting in front of a computer screen way too long today. My brain has completely gone blank. It's right there on the tip of my tongue. I know who you are. I just can't remember who you are because I am terrible with names. Let's see. JC says I'm going to be doing some beta reading during the first during the sprints as I wait for my video to upload to Patreon and then YouTube. Nice. Need to get me a jar like that. I don't know where this came from. This was a Christmas gift holding like a bunch of goodies a few years ago when I was still working at the clinic. Well, actually, this was when I was working for the hospital and I was working at the care center actually as a activities director. This was a Christmas gift from the director at the time. And it says Rayware Group on the bottom. I don't know what that means. It probably came from Family Dollar, but I'm not positive. It's a small town. There's two different groups of they're not Amish. Oh, my brain just blanked. Hooterites. So there's two groups of Hooterites, which is basically German Amish in the area. And so as far as I know, this may have come from them. I do not know. But I've had it for a couple years now, and this is the first time I've actually used it since emptying it out. Lauren, thank you. Thank you, Lauren. I could not remember for the life of me. JC says probably could get one from Family Dollar. Probably. Drafting blog articles and YouTube comments, says Lauren. And JC says, or Dollar Tree. I do not have a Dollar Tree in my area anymore. Family Dollar and Dollar Tree, there used to be some Dollar Tree sections in the Family Dollar, and recently, within the past year and a half, they got rid of all the Dollar Tree stuff, so it's now just Family Dollar. Unfortunately, it's fine. Seen them there before, but I need to start keeping the jar to hold the accomplishments. And so on days when I feel like I've done nothing, I can just look at my jar. Yeah, that's a great idea, JC. You should do that. Phone, can you please shut up? Shut up, you. Thank you. All right, let's do a sprint. I think we've been chatting for a little bit. I've made it to the end of the comments that I can see on YouTube. Restream isn't even showing any comments past Lauren is fine. So yay for that. All right, let's do a sprint. We're going to do 30 minutes. For those who are new to my channel, I have been doing 30-minute sprints the last few times. We're going to do a sprint, and during that sprint, I will have a prompt up for anyone who wants to write but doesn't know what they want to write about. You do not have to write the prompt if you don't want to. It's just there for inspiration if you need it. And I know during this first sprint, I'm going to see what my family group chat is going crazy for on Facebook. It's probably Easter related because my nephews are both 6 and 7. 6 and 7. I think he's 6 and 7 or 6 and 8. One was born in 2020 when we were down in lockdown, so I know his age. He just turned 6 in March. The other one is either 7 or 8. I can't remember if he was a year or a year and a half later. I don't know. Anyways, let's do this. Here's our first prompt for anyone who wants to write it. You don't have to again. And it says, heavy metal artist provides a hiding spot for a violinist who stole the instrument they're carrying. So that is our first prompt for anyone who wants to use it. Again, you do not have to. Let's see. JC says, oh yeah, I saw that you mammed me in my comments. I did. This is me. Ma'am. Stop talking bad about my friend. And Rachel says, bad restream, bad software. I want to use OBS so bad. I need to go ahead and just reset up OBS. It means that it'll become complicated if I have guests on my stream, but it'll be so much easier for me to just to stream straight from OBS. I actually prefer OBS over Restream. It's just that when I was streaming with guests all the time at that point, and it was just difficult to get everyone on the same stuff and get it to work correctly. So that's on me. But yeah, maybe I'll switch back. Uh, Lauren says, JC, that's a good point. I've been feeling like I'm not been productive lately. And JC says, I love you, Skye. I love you too, JC. That's why I had to ma'am you. All right, let's do this. 30 minutes. We're going to come back and chit chat after the sprint. I will be muted during that time. And yeah, we'll get back. We'll get back to chatting afterwards. I don't know what we're going to chat about. I've got nothing tonight. My brain is mush, but we'll figure something out. So here we go. In 3, 2, 1, let's go. All right, that is time, everyone. Let me know how you did what you did in the comments. Doo-doo-doo. I got words. Give me a second. Let me finish this sentence. Doo-doo-doo. All right, there we go. 685 words is what I got. Let me put that in my tracker real quick. Say it's the 4th. 685, not shoot. I can't type 85. Did I say 685? No, I can't remember. Yes, 685. Okay, we're good. Alrighty. Let's see how you guys did in the comments. What's up, kiddo? Dad, did you really think I was going to eat Hot Pockets? Go yell at him, not me. Huh?
I don't know where he is.
Probably outside. Are you getting ready to go to bed?
I looked into the freezer because I was going to pack our
Camera's on.
bag for D&D tomorrow.
Got it.
There's no Hot Pockets.
I'm
We
sorry.
have no snacks.
I'm sorry. Yes, Pop-Tarts. I gotta go grocery shopping is what she's telling me. So that's what I'm hearing is I've got to go grocery shopping. All right, let me see how you guys did in the comments. Scrolling back up to where I left off. Sunset joined us. Hello, hello, welcome in. Rachel says, I've fallen in love with Meld, but I still have the $10 per month for Talk Studio because I'm lazy. Okay, so I have a question about that. Meld works like Restream and StreamYard, right? It's like a third party to stream to other places. What is Talk Studio for if that's the case? Like, how do those all combine together to use them? That is my question. Lauren asked if Restream is better than StreamYard. I like it better. My only complaint is the fact that on Restream, I can't get the chat to show up. It does eventually show up, but it's not as close to in real time. And it takes a long time for some of the comments to show up that I can clearly see in YouTube. It takes a long time for them to show up on Restream, and then they don't necessarily show up in order. So like if you're like having a full conversation that you've had to split into parts, I might be reading part 3, then part 1, then part 2, then part 4. Like it doesn't necessarily put them in the order that they appear on YouTube. So it's just easier for me to read them off of YouTube. And that's legit my only complaint about Restream. Part of the reason I switched to Restream was because StreamYard, only for the free version, because I have free Restream. Restream is free, the version I have. At the time I was using StreamYard, I was already streaming more than StreamYard allows you to stream for free. How many times can I say stream in the same word? StreamYard lets you stream for free up to 20 hours. And if I did that, that means that because I stream weekly, I would have to keep my streams at 2 hours. I don't know if y'all have noticed lately, but my streams are at minimum 3.5 to 4 hours. That's when I'm streaming weekly, that's just too long not to get the paid version of StreamYard. Restream has no restrictions as far as like how much you can stream, at least not currently, as I'm saying this. But there are other limitations to it that I don't care about anyways. Like I get stuck with the little Restream logo in the corner. Don't care about that. There's some other factors. I have a feeling that if I got the paid version of Restream, I would suddenly no longer have problems with that chat. Just saying. It would be hilarious, actually, if that was the case. But the chat is legit my only complaint. And like I said, stuff does still show up in the chat. It just takes forever for it to show up there. And again, not necessarily in the order it should be. So it's just easier for me to read it straight from YouTube. It just means I can't show it on the screen when I do that. I'm legit having to read what it says. Lauren asked what Meld is, was asking that directly to Rachel. I'm betting there'll be an answer in there. Eva has joined us. Hello. I don't know if I said hello to you or if you've been with us before we went on that sprint. If you hadn't, welcome, welcome. Enjoy having you here. I'm going to go ahead and pause that right at the 1 because I wasn't paying attention. Eva says, my kid's basket has a little note saying there's only 10 hidden, but they are extra hard. Ooh, I haven't hidden them yet. Oh, Easter Bunny still got work to do, huh? Eva says, we're traveling tomorrow. First year, we'll be gathering at my sister-in-law's house. Excuse me. So we're taking a ton of eggs to hide there. The kid is in on that one. Oh, nice. JC got a little bit of beta reading done. Lauren got 200 words in a YA fantasy. Nice. Eva says, I got things sorted and egg stuffed. Next, I'll set up the baskets and hide the eggs. Sunset is, if Restream would not Restream, YouTube would stop jumping. Sunset is editing, going through half of one chapter and start another. Sounds like it's kid speak. Rachel says, Meld works like souped up OBS. Its only thing is you have to use Video Ninja for guests. Talk Studio is part of the Streamlabs company. It's just like StreamYard. So what's the point in using both Meld and Talk Studio? That's my question. I know a lot of people were using Talk Studio with Streamlabs too, and by a lot of people, I don't know why I said that. It's Sam was using Talk Studio. I don't get why you use both, I guess is my question. And okay, if Meld works like if LBS, okay, that makes sense. Why you would have to use Video Ninja. I'll get that right eventually. I'm just trying to wrap my brain around this, and my brain is not computing. I bet it'll make sense later, but I'm also a visual learner, so that's part of the problem too. Is I'm like sitting here trying to like map it out like a snowflake method in my head, and it's not working. Yes, phone. I know. We finished that sprint. You can stop reminding me. It's just my brain is not computing. That's basically what it comes down to. Let's see. Everyone's saying hi to each other. Talk Studio is $7.50 per month. Yeah, I like free. I will continue using Restream just because it's free. I legit, until I have a job again, I legit cannot afford anything else. I have actually canceled a lot of things. Like I no longer have my newsletter. I was using Story Origin for my reader magnet for my newsletter, and I've canceled that subscription. I have canceled a couple other subscriptions that I was using religiously. We're about to cancel one more subscription. We haven't talked about that in my family yet, but it's going to happen because I legit can't afford it, even though it's only like $15 a month. Just can't do it. All right, so Rachel says, I already had Talk Studio. It has built-in studio for guests, so it's easy peasy. Okay, that makes sense. Then I found Meld, so I tried it out. It's not as easy for a studio guest because I would have to use an extra studio and people get confused. Yeah. The one time I was trying to do streaming through OBS with Stephanie as a guest, we were using the Video Ninja, and she, for some reason, it was probably because of me, it was probably user error. She could not see me on camera. Like she could if she went to the YouTube tab, but like through Video Ninja, she couldn't see me. I think it was because of the way I had it set up through OBS. But again, that was the only time we tried that. Ever since then, the only time I've used OBS for streaming was like solo. It's only with guests that we got confused. OBS solo streaming, I'm great. Like I can do that all day long. I know how to do it. I just have to set it up again because all my stuff reset the last time OBS did a update. You heading to bed?
Yes.
Okay. I was just curious. Sorry, YouTube jumped again. I'm trying to figure out where I stopped. Okay, that's why I stopped. Lauren asked, do you need Talk Studio for guests with Restreams? I've never used Talk Studio. That's the reason I was asking questions about it. With Restream, it gives me a link. I send it out. Bada bing, bada boom, done. Easy peasy. I really do enjoy Restream. And like, I'm really a big fan of free right now. If something is free, I am all over it. Let's see. Rach says, since I already paid for Talk Studio, I've got it till the end of the year. Then I'm sticking with Meld for free. Eva says, I've used OBS once playing on Twitch.
English.
I can't English. Okay. That's what I did, Eva, is I used OBS for Twitch as well. My knowledge ends there. Never intended to host guests. Fair. And Rach send it. Gosh dang, why can I not talk tonight? Rach sent a link for Meld. I might have to check it out just because I'm curious. I'm curious now. But I really do, like, legit, my only complaint is the chat feature in Restream. And since that's my only complaint, I am good with Restream. I might check out Meld just to see like how it compares, but otherwise I'm good. In case you wanted to see it. Thank you. I love Meld because it's so much like OBS that it's much easier to set up, in my opinion. Interesting. Restream just has a bunch of presets. I think of Restream like it's exactly like StreamYard, except for you can stream for more hours. The fact that you compare Meld to OBS and StreamYard are two completely different things, which means Meld and Restream are going to be two completely different things. Meld has a chat feature, highlighter, broadcast. Nice. It's a widget. Okay. Nice. Like I said, I might have to check it out because it would be nice just to have the chat and be able to show it on screen. I don't mind that I can't because like I said, I read them out anyways, even if I do have them on screen. I've always done that for a long time. I've been doing that since I was streaming with Dalcisi Bruno once upon a time. And she couldn't always read them, so I was reading them out loud so that she could understand what was going on in the chat. So that's when I started reading them, and I've been doing it ever since. So even if they were displayed across the screen, I'd still be reading them out loud. Also have a countdown widget that I use. Like I said, I'll have to probably check it out just to see. Just to play around with it. Lauren says want to leave StreamYard, just trying to see what's easier and more accessible to use. I don't know how accessible Restream is for you, Lauren. I have no clue. It's worth checking out. Meld might be worth checking out if you'd rather use that. Completely up to you. I'm just, ever since I switched, I was streaming with Laura the other day, and Laura still uses, sorry, I was streaming with Laura, not Lauren. Names are getting fuddled in my head now. I was streaming with Laura the other day, and Laura was using StreamYard. And it's been so long since I've even looked at StreamYard. I was like, what the heck am I doing with this? What is this? Everything was in a different location that I'm used to, and I was just like, what? Rich says I don't need outside timers. I like using the Pomodoro Kitty, though. I'd probably still continue using it. He says displaying them for the sake of displaying them is a waste of intention from my view. Lag often has us miss what they say if we were wanting to read them on the screen as fast as people click through them. And the guests are here reading the chat already. That's fair. That's fair. Lauren says, I tried OBS and was lost. Eva says, I miss Brooke's little timer. I like the little cat timer here too. And Rach says, some people love things highlighted. Yeah. I was taking part in a couple different streams earlier today for the Double Down Day. And I was thinking to myself, every once in a while, I'm like, I would love to be a big channel. And then I saw how many comments they were skipping over because they had to based on time constraints because they were doing an event. And I was like, I do not want to be such a big channel that I cannot get to all the comments. I love reading all of the comments and just watching and lurking in the chats and seeing how many comments were skipped over. I was just like, that would drive me insane from like a host perspective because like I cannot do that. I like reading all the comments. Eva says some people dislike things highlighted too. You're never going to please everyone, no matter what you do. Honestly, everyone's going to have their own thing. Eva says when my comments are left on screen for long periods, I feel so perceived, and I probably left. Yeah, because you pop in and out off and on, Eva, which is okay. I'm not saying that's a bad thing. Sunset said, I missed Sarah's stream today. I'm sad. And Rach says, sometimes I just summarize comments. I read them as they come in up usually, but sometimes we do be chatty. Mm-hmm. And JC says, yeah, I hear that, Skye, because I personally hate when my comments get skipped over because I have to work up a lot of nerve to comment to begin with. Most times I just lurk. Fair. Yep. All right. Well, with that said, speaking of comments, I've made it to the end of the comments that I can see on YouTube. So we're going to go ahead and do another sprint. Nixie's been blinking at us for a while. For those who are new or not used to me, I have named my kitty cat on the screen. Her name is Nixie. I think it was JC that suggested the name. It was JC or Eva. I feel like YouTube were one of the ones that suggested the name Nixie, and it stuck. So Nixie's been blinking at us for a bit, being like, "Are you gonna sprint? You gonna do some work?" So I think we need to work. So here we go. Let's do this. We're going to do another 30 minutes. Here is our second prompt for anyone who wants to write. Again, you do not have to use it. And it says, they say the butler of the house can hear footsteps from hundreds of feet away, no matter how quiet. So that is our second prompt for anyone who wants to use it. We're going to do 30 minutes starting in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. All right, that's time, everyone. Let us know how you did, what you did in the comments. Yes, computer, I can hear you. You can make enough noise. I ended up writing 954 words. So let me put that in my tracker real quick. 954. Alrighty. Clear that. Reset. Okay, let's see how you guys did. Scrolling back up to get to where we left off. JC says, "Oh, Eva, I didn't know that. I hope I never made you uncomfortable leaving your comment up too long." And Eva said, I forget I'm in streams sometimes, or life pulls me away, or I am too focused for a break, or too unfocused for a sprint. It's not a big deal." And JC said it was I, talking about Nixie's name, I bet. Eva says, "Hosts tend to cater to the opposite end of the spectrum, so I notice is all. Work! Off to the great outdoors in the darkness of a cloudy night." Is it cloudy outside? That sucks. I want to step outside because it's a full moon's night, and I want to see it before I go to bed. Lauren says, "I'm going to bed. Got to get up early, otherwise I'd stay up." I missed it. I'm sorry, Lauren. I hope you sleep well whenever you get to sleep. Everyone's saying good night. Laura says, "I just watched a movie with my sister." Woot! What movie? Out of curiosity. On Thursday after we streamed, part of the reason I didn't get back to writing at all is I sat down with Justin and we had dinner. We went out and we got Subway, and when we came back, since we had the house to ourselves, we may have watched an entire season of Seven Deadly Sins, which is an anime, for those who don't know. It was fantastic. I loved it. He's seen it already. And I bombarded him with a million questions I never meant for him to answer in the first place. Because that's what I do. That's how I thought process, is I ask questions as we watch shows and movies. Rachel says, "I've just reread the same paragraph 3 times. It's time to press pause. Thank you for your time. Have a good night, everybody." Oh, and again, I missed someone. I am so sorry. I hope you have a good night and rest well. JC had the same thought as I did. What movie? And he said, "I scrolled, posted, and now I'm going to go hide those eggs." Oops. Have fun hiding eggs, Eva. You are probably not here right now because you are hiding eggs. I look forward to hearing how it goes. But you only had 10, but you did say you were going to hide them really well. So I'm curious. Sunset finished up a chapter, did some research. Nice. Eva says, "I'm not reaching into the birdhouse, so here's hoping the kid does." Eggs hidden. Nice. Congrats, Eva. Laura watched Sinners. She hadn't seen it yet. I haven't seen it yet. Is it good? It looks good. It looks amazing. And it won some awards. I don't know. I don't pay attention to the award ceremony stuff, so I don't know which awards. I just know it won some. Eva says, "I do the same with the questions." Oh, bombard with questions during movies and shows? Yes. It's how I process stuff. The only time I don't do it is when we're in like a movie theater. If it's like a TV show or a movie and we're in our own home, I will ask a ton of questions or I'll react. And by that I mean like I'll like react aloud. When we go to movie theaters, so the kids and I went and saw Hoppers, and they got after me because the trailers were playing, and I don't remember which trailer it was, but something happened and I gasped. I started laughing, and my kiddo looked at me and she was like, "Mom, you're being loud." I was just like, "I'm sorry, it was funny." So my kids got after me for being loud. It was the only time I laughed like that throughout the entire movie. And that was the ad. I tend to like keep my trap shut except for like reactions that everyone else around me are also having during movies in theaters. But at home, all's fair in love and movies, guys. Oh. And so like because he's seen it, I was asking a million questions, some of which had to do with show. And I actually afterwards, like today, was it today or yesterday? Today is Saturday, so yesterday we went into town to run some errands, and I had to legit. He made a comment, and I don't remember what started the conversation, but he made the comment. He was like, I did not expect us to watch an entire season of a show. And I was like, well, that's fair. And he was like, but you were into it and you kept asking questions and I knew the answers would come. So I just let it go. We watched 24 episodes in one day. So yeah. And I was like, okay, so there is two types of Skye you need to watch out for when I ask questions. And I was like, if I'm directly looking at you and asking a question, that is one I want to answer to. It means that I have a theory and I need you to confirm or deny it. If I'm not looking at you, if I'm looking at the screen asking the questions, it's literally just stuff for me to keep in mind or I'm making commentary on as we're watching. And I don't want your response. I want you to keep your trap shut. Do not spoil it for me. Let me see if my theories are accurate. Let's see. JC said, oh, that was such a good movie, Laura. Loved it. Ooh, nice. Okay. Eva says, just 10 of them, yeah. Talking about the eggs. Hid the eggs for seniors today for their egg hunt. How'd that go, Laura? I'm curious. It's very good. Talking about sinners. It's so good. Eva says, reaction channel with you and your husband. So, not gonna lie, last night I watched the tag that Margaret did. It was some kind of singing tag. I cannot remember. She did two tags in that video. One was songs and one was something else. And she had tagged me in the song portion of the tag. And I could not help thinking based on the conversation that was happening because she does her tags live. So some of the conversation that was happening at the same time made me think. I was like, oh, I should try to get my husband to sing because when he does sing and he takes it seriously, he actually is a good singer. It's just half the time we don't take ourselves seriously. He's still awake. So, yeah. I don't think I'm ever going to get him to do a reaction thing with me. He does not like being on the screen, which is fine. That's fair. Laura said I hadn't watched it since I saw it in theaters. Okay. And JC says, oh, you got to see it in theaters? That must have been a heck of an experience. I can't spell. Laura is what it was supposed to say. I understood it. And Laura said the egg hunt went really well. It was plastic eggs with chocolate inside. See, indoors, chocolate is acceptable. Outdoors must be hard candy or bubble gum or gummies. But even gummies are iffy because chocolate melts, but so do gummies depending on the heat. I may know that from experience. One, two, three, O'Larry. Too many times. The chocolate was only once. The gummies may have been a couple times. Oh. And there was one time when we were still living in North Carolina, we did an egg hunt inside, and even then the chocolate melted just because of how hot it was. And I don't remember if it was just because it was already that hot or if it was because our AC wasn't working to keep it cool enough in the house. I can't remember. I just remember having that problem too indoors. Mix them both? Okay. Laura said this was outdoors, but you hid them, filled them, and probably hunted them down like within the same day. Even put chocolate in the eggs that just hid. Any money? I know we had a conversation about that on one of the streams. Now I can't remember. I think it was Laura's. Yes, the other day, because we were talking about eggs, real eggs versus plastic eggs versus candy versus money. And I can't remember. I want to say it was on Laura's channel. I've now been to like so many streams in the past 24 hours, it's not even funny. More than usual. Okay. Hoping the critters aren't out since we've had vultures circling the last week. Ooh. Laura said I put them on hedges and chairs. There was one time we hid it in like there was a tree and the branches. There was just enough of a spot to hold an egg, and we put it there. Girls took forever to find it. I think that was our golden egg actually. We were all like, "You have to look higher." Did not find it for the longest time. Eva said, "The ones for the bigger hunt, I have jelly beans for, cheapest option, and some pre-filled eggs. Nice." Laura says, "I'm pretty certain it was my stream." I think it was. I'm just trying to. Someone was asking because they were putting. Gwenna was putting money in her eggs, and she was asking about the different amounts. I think. All right, Eva says, "We're downsizing our costs. Plastic eggs reused. Yep, we did that several years in a row. New candy to hide. Easter Bunny brings a new basket, few eggs, and giant chocolate bunny and outdoor toy. This year is a frisbee and a Nerf football. Nice. I like that." I wanted to make the girls' baskets so badly. Yeah, that's not happening at this point. I don't have the money for that. I would love to make them baskets. The youngest was still young enough last year that she could participate in the town's egg hunt, which the town's egg hunt they hide thousands of eggs. They go down to the local park and just basically drop eggs everywhere, and they have it sectioned off into various areas. So there's different age categories, and the kids can hunt eggs in their section based on their age. And she just aged out of it this year. This is the first year she couldn't participate, which is a little sad. But I do like how they did it. And everyone in town gets involved with that. It's actually really cool. Eve said, "I got the kiddo a globe, though, as an Easter gift, and with all the things for grandkids, too. We spent way more than I wanted to still." I feel that. Laura says, "We always got a new book in each of our Easter baskets." I would have never thought about doing a book. That is so cool. Egg-shaped bubble gum. Ooh, that's fun. He says, "We can't ship the grand stuff until after Easter this year. They each get about $30 worth of Easter gifts each, and then just a ton of toys and a book. Or ton of candy, I meant." Is it candy or toys or both? Either way, those are some lucky kids. Wait, Laura, I forgot to buy peeps for peep chow. Okay, Laura, I need you to explain what peep jousting is, because in my mind, you've got little peeps holding lances and screaming, "Ah!" and then riding towards each other. All I can think of is if anyone has seen Romeo and Juliet, you remember the little bunnies? That's what I'm picturing in my head. Little bunnies holding jousts and running towards each other. Not jousts, holding lances. I was reading your post at the same time. Holding lances and running towards each other after screaming "Ah!" at the top of their lungs. Eva says, "Not toys, candy." Okay, fair. Wait, there's a video I haven't seen? Oh, Laura, have you not shown Skye the video? There's a peep jousting video? I need this in my life. I'm just saying. Feel free to share with the class if you want, or you can share it with me privately. I don't care, but I kind of need to see this now. This sounds fantastic. Eva says the grads are 4 and 6-year-old girls and a 12-year-old boy. Girls got the book, some sidewalk chalk, and a sewing craft to share. Each got fashion necklace of their own. Grandson got gift card. Nice. And then candy, not much chocolate, since shipping may melt things. Fair. All right. All of that sounds fun. And I have made it to the end of the comments that I can see so far. Nixie is going to be blinking, or has been blinking for a while. Oh, goodness. YouTube just jumped with a bunch of comments. Hold on. I should have got less. God. JC says Laura showed it to me, so I don't know where to find it. And Laura said, yes, basically, but in a microwave. The lances are toothpicks. As the peeps expand, they get closer. The one that pops the other wins. I love this. And Eva says, yes, I need peep jousting. I'm going to have to go look this up online. All right, let's do this. We're going to do 30 minutes. Let me find my next prompt. Here we go. It says, a magician with the worst haircut of their life finds themselves taking music lessons from someone who never stops asking questions. Don't know what these have to do with each other, but they do. That is our prompt for anyone who wants to use it. We're going to do 30 minutes starting in 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
All right, everyone, that is time. Hopefully you guys can hear me. I'm switched locations. I've come to my kitchen so that Justin can sleep in peace. I still need to go shut everything down in that other room. So the timer you see on the screen is the cat timer from my room. But I didn't want to shut everything down in that room and accidentally shut down the stream when I was trying to switch locations. So in the future, Justin's hours have changed. So on the weekends now, the weekends are now like his Monday and Tuesday. So like, and he's got a different position that he's got. And on weekends now, he has to be at work at 7 a.m., which means he has to wake up at 6 a.m. So if I'm going to continue live streaming, and I forgot this, otherwise I wouldn't have started live streaming in my room. I would have started live streaming here. I need to live stream from the kitchen instead of my room so that when it's time for him to go to bed, he can go to bed without worrying about me streaming. And I wouldn't have switched locations except for I had my noise canceling headphones on. I was listening to music and I could hear him snoring behind me. And I was just like, oh God, he's loud tonight. And even when I left the room, he was still snoring. I was like, damn, you're being loud tonight. So that was why I switched rooms and why I'm in here. So hopefully everything is good to go and you guys can not only see me but hear me and everything. I think everything's working correctly. So yep, okay, cool. It is on my end, so but yeah, that's why I switched locations. And I think from the future I need to either stream from the kitchen or I need to sit in the living room to do live streams on Saturday evenings. Oh, I wish I hadn't forgotten that. But anyways, I wrote words during that sprint. I wrote, other than switching locations, I wrote 572 words. So that is not bad at all. I got quite a bit done, actually. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to turn off the timer, and it's just going to be you and I for a bit while I go through the comments, and then I'll start up. Oh, Jester's itching. I was like, what is that noise? When it's time to start the next sprint, I will set up a new one from the computer. I've already got it open. I just have to set it up with the correct time and stuff. There we go. Oh, set times. There we go. Okay, looking at the chart. Not chart. Chat. Let's see. I think I read this one, but I'm going to reread it. Laura said, yes, Skye, basically, but in a microwave. The lances are toothpicks. As the peeps expand, they get closer. The one that pops, the other wins. And Eva said, yes, I need peep jousting. That was the first thing I did. As soon as we started the sprint, I looked up peep jousting. All I did was type peep jousting into YouTube, and so many videos came up. The first two were like from 15, 18 years ago. I was just like, damn, this has been a thing for a while, and I'm just now hearing about it. Just fantastic. I had a great old time watching the first two videos. One was like 30 seconds long, one was like 3 minutes long. Eva says, I got Dr. Pepper Peeps since the oldest likes Peeps as an add-in for the care package, but I may grab those out for my peep jousting. I love this idea. I do not like Peeps, but I love the idea of peep jousting. Hello, you going to bed? Give me a second. Let me turn off the camera. I switched it in here.
Yeah, I saw. I went to bed.
Yep. Huggles? Love you.
Love you.
Good night. Okay, back. That was quick, I know. Let's see. Stephanie joined us. Hello, Stephanie. Just got home, took a much-deserved rest, and now I'm here. Sunset said, okay, I'm calling it a night. Thanks for the sprints. I am sorry I missed you, Sunset. You were probably typing that right when I was like switching locations. So have a good night, and I'm glad you could join us. JC's saying hi and commenting on the fact that I changed locations. Yes, I did. Laura says, back from the store, got Peeps, ice cream, and bubble bath. Okay. That is an interesting combination. I hope we're doing these three things separately and not all together, because microwaves do not belong in the bathtub. I'm just saying. Let's see. Stephanie says, I have been reading over some chapters I've written. Nice. I am more than halfway through. I'm on chapter 6 of 9 in an epilogue. I'll just say 10. I just started this chapter. I'm on chapter 6 of 10, and once I finish editing / rewriting, I will be formatting it and sending it off to 2 beta readers who have requested it. One of which is in this chat and has been patiently waiting, or not so patiently, depending on your viewpoint, for a while. And then I can switch over to the other story that I need to edit and pass on to a beta reader. Oh man. My biggest thing with beta reading is that I don't know what I need to know about a story. Especially like with novels, it's a little easier. With short stories, I'm like, by the time I have finished editing it and passing it on, I am pretty certain of how solid the story is on my end. Unless there's something where like I may have not done a lot of research, or like I didn't do enough research, and so like my research portions of them are wrong for whatever reason. By the time I pass on a story, I'm like, a short story. By the time I pass on the short story to beta readers, I'm like, I could publish this tomorrow and be okay with it being published like this. So like, I don't know what to ask beta. I do know with the other story, one of the questions I'm going to ask, and I'm not going to get into that here. I'm going to be making a whole video about process with that one. Am I still on screen? Yeah, okay. Sorry, I forgot to pause the live stream, and so I didn't realize it was flickering between camera view and the icon view, and I was like, what is going on? It's because it's behind by a lot. Got it. But anyways, my biggest thing with the beta reading is I don't know what questions I need to ask beta readers. And I've looked up a ton of questions. Like I have a whole list of questions, but I'm like, for the short stories, I have a whole list of questions. Like if it was a novel, I'd be asking all of these questions. But for the short stories themselves, I'm like, I don't know what I need to pass on. So it's a mystery. So I'll have to figure that out. Laura's got eyes. Yeah, the other one I'll be working on, Laura, is the one I'm going to be sending to you. It's the werewolf story, which has a name now. I was calling it Werewolf Smut because I didn't know what else to call it, and now it's got an official title. So that is the other one I'll be working on. This one is the Sultry Solstices 2. Laura says, I have so many physical books I still need to read, but I also need to focus on school. Your test is on the 11th, right? Have you gotten any further with your studying for that? I really hate that you have such a short time to study so much material. And part of it's because I know you started a week later after being waitlisted, but damn, that's a lot of material to study in what was 10 days, and now it's like, I can't math, 7, something like that. But I also want to spend time with family. That is completely understandable. And yeah, I 100% agree. That's what I did Thursday after you finished up your live stream, Laura, and we all got off. I went and spent the rest of the evening with Justin and did not once look at my computer ever again. The youngest, who I was just saying goodnight to, was out of town because she was at an FFA state. She was at the FFA state convention, and she was there from the 4th until today. She just got back today. In fact, she actually just got back into town right around the same time my husband was getting off work. So she's been gone since the 4th. And then the oldest has been working as well. So she's been staying at a friend's house. So she's already in town since they work early in the morning too. Like, I think she has to be out and about by 6 a.m. When there's snow on the ground, they're actually out and about by 5 a.m. And I think now that it's warming up and they're doing apartment stuff, it's later in the morning, but it's still easier for her to stay in town. So they're on spring break, by the way. Wednesday was their last day. And so she's been gone since Wednesday evening. I took her back into town after she came home and did some stuff around here. And then she's been back in town ever since then. And she'll be in town until tomorrow. She'll come home tomorrow afternoon after Justin gets off work. he'll bring her home with him. So, like 45 minutes of studying. Oof. That's better than none, though. 45 minutes is better than none. Laura asked what the FFA is. FFA stands for Future Farmers of America. The state convention, I don't know exactly what she did for the state convention. She did a bunch of stuff, and she was telling me about some of it, but I didn't, like, some of it went in one ear and out the other kind of stuff. Final Fantasy Association. I wish I would join that. I know when I was part of the FFA, I was in a different school, and they did things a little differently. I went to a couple of different livestock judging competitions, and she's done that too. I don't know what she did at the state convention. Like I said, she was starting to tell me about that earlier today, but she did so much that she kept like crossing over everything she was saying. So like she would start to tell me about one thing, and then she'd be like, "Oh, but we did this as well," and like it was all starting to jump up together. So I have no idea. I'll have to ask her again when she's like settled in a little bit more and gotten some sleep at this point. But yeah, I would go to a Final Fantasy Association. I'm just saying. The desire to cosplay. Oh, that reminds me. We talked about doing cosplay, and you talked about making like Warbler armor, Laura, on your stream the other day. And I saw a video earlier today where someone was doing Warbler armor, but they were using perler beads. Those ones that you put, they're like real round circles, and you use an iron over them to get them to stick. She made a Master Chief armor set where she made most of it out of perler beads. And I was just like, that is brilliant. I love it. It was so cool. I think I watched it on TikTok, so I don't know if I'd be able to find it again, but I will try so I can just so I can send it to you. Wait, what? Laura, you got bit by a lizard? Twice? Today? Drew blood with its tiny teeth. It was a pretty big guy. Please tell me you got a picture you can send to me, because I love lizards. Lizard, 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 lizard. I want a bearded dragon or a blue-tongued skink. Or actually, what I really want, like dream lizard. Has anyone watched Rescuers Down Under? If you have watched Rescuers Down Under, do you remember Joanna? She is some kind of monitor. And I don't remember what kind of monitor she is. I'll have to look it up. I'm going to look it up. She's a goanna. She's a goanna lizard. A goanna monitor. Or is it just a goanna? What kind of lizard was Joanna? She is a goanna. It's an Australian monitor lizard. And they are beautiful, in my opinion. They're not the color she was in the movie, though that would be so cool. They are, let's see. Where is... Now I'm going to look up goanna, because now I want to know. They're like striped. But yeah, I would love to have some kind of monitor lizard. That is like dream goals, the dragon I want in my house, basically. Did I leave that prompt up? I did. I am so sorry. Let me pull that down. Oh, can I? Yes, I can. Yes, I can. Okay. Since I'm in 2 locations, it's hard to figure out what I can do where. But yeah, I want a lizard. Laura said, did not get a picture. It was a catch and release mission. It had invaded the retirement home. Oh, okay. And Laura loves that movie, right? It's like one of my favorite classic Disney films. I saw Rescuers Down Under before I saw Rescuers, and I always thought Rescuers was a sequel to Rescuers Down Under until my parents did like a marathon one day, and we watched Rescuers first. And then I was just like, oh, now it makes sense. Okay. Why my little brain thought that the original was the sequel, don't know. I don't know where that logic came in. It logicked in my brain somehow. It got fixed later. It's fine. But yeah, Rescuers Down Under was one of my favorite films. And I watch Rescuers, the original one now, and I'm like, can we bring this kind of animation back? Because like that movie starts with like oil paintings and lighting. And that was the animation of it. It was just oil paintings and lighting. And then it switched to the actual 2D animation. I was like, this was brilliant. And the only other movie I've seen that's even remotely similar is Mary Poppins. And Mary Poppins combines live action with the animation, with the oil painting kind of stuff. And I'm like, can we bring that kind of stuff back? Can we bring that back? We need more oil paintings with lighting and then 2D animation. I just love 2D animation. Let me just say that right away. All the I miss like old school CGI. To me, the old school CGI Jurassic Park and stuff like that looks more realistic and cool. And yes, I know partially it's because of the fact that some of it was animatronics. I get it. But still the parts that are CGI and nothing but CGI still look more realistic than CGI, modern CGI. And I'm just like, can we bring it back? Laura says, that's okay. I thought Jafar was a girl. Fair. I could see it. But then again, I'm all about the gender bent stuff. So I've been seeing stuff where Jafar is pictured as a girl for a long time. So, shows what I know. All right, let's do another sprint so I can go shut down the other computer and turn off lights and stuff. And then we will come back and chit chat some more. This is our 4th sprint. Will it be our last? I don't know. It might be. It might not be. At this point, I'm thinking not. How do I share the screen? Got our timer. I am using the same timer. I'm just different screen. There we go. Alrighty. And here is our 4th prompt. And it says, an inventor and beekeeper both win 2nd prize in a shouldn't have touched that contest. Neither knew they were playing. Again, you don't have to use that prompt if you don't want to. It's just there if you want to write but don't know what you want to write about. And we are going to start this sprint in 3, 2, 1. Let's go. All right, that is time, everyone. Let me know how you did, what you did in the comments. I was debating doing another sprint, and I don't think I'm going to be able to. I am fading fast. I actually am glad I turned the camera off because I was dozing off during that sprint. I did get work done. It just wasn't as much as I would have liked. Actually, it was still pretty damn good. I got 407 words. Let me go ahead and put that in my tracker. That's really good, actually. 407, which means I'm ending tonight with 2,600, a little over 2,600 words, which is extremely good. Like, I'm not knocking the progress I've made at all. Not by any stretch of the imagination. It's just that I was kind of hoping to get closer to finishing this than that. And I am now a little over halfway still. So, again, not mad about it, just wish I'd gotten further. Oh my goodness. All right, let's see how you guys did. Let me go check out the comments. There are no comments right away. That's okay. Whoops. I'm having problems with my mouse. Laura was asking me before either right as the sprint was starting or shortly after the sprint started. She was asking me if it was Easter here and whether or not it was time to break out the candy. And I was like, I do not have any candy to break out. And it is officially Easter here. We don't really celebrate. Except for I used to do Easter baskets for the girls once they hit a certain age. And before that, they were doing Easter egg hunts. So that's it. All right, everyone. I don't see any other comments in the YouTube chat at the moment, and I am fading fast. I don't even know what to talk about. So I'm going to go ahead and preemptively say that I'm going to wrap this up here. And then I'll be live next Saturday. Yeah. I have not put out as many videos and posts as I would have liked. And another thing I probably should have done before I jumped into editing stories is I probably should have not edited. My googly moogly, it's definitely time to go to bed. Instead of editing stories, I probably should have been answering YouTube comments. So, oh well, I keep putting them off. I am reading them. I haven't replied to any of them yet. So that's the next step, is to reply to them. But I need sleep because I cannot wear it anymore. So, I closed up Nixie because I am going to head to bed. I am really tired. On that last sprint, I was actually falling asleep. So I'm going to wrap this up here. I debated doing another sprint, but I'm going to probably fall asleep and yeah, that's not going to be productive at all. But, all right. Thank you all for joining me. I will be back next week for another live stream. I am hopefully going to be putting out more content soon. Got to film and edit a bunch of videos. I'm still behind on the craft symposium videos. I should have done February's and March's by now, and I have not done either one. That's on me. I'll get it eventually. But anyways, yeah. I think that's it. For those who don't know or who are watching the replay, my name is Skye. I'm a fantasy author who typically writes paranormal romance under the name SD Hegyes. I am been working on a short story series called Sultry Solstices. I am writing the first draft of book 5, and I am editing the I don't know how many drafts of book 2. And when I finish this draft, I'm going to format it for beta readers and send it off to them. So, fun stuff. So, yeah. All right. Happy Easter to those who celebrate, and everyone have a good, happy full moon. So, bye, everyone. If I can find my mouse. Yay.